Anna brich in bunk, their bows on a bricht. I saw a brimliche boar to a bay brocht. Runke ratches with rerde, thy ronnen a richt. Of all her row and her arrest, little humrocht. On a birch-clad bank beneath bright boughs, I see a bristling boar brought to bay. Hounds harry it with hungry howls, priming their hackles, hunting their prey, never resting. I hear and am roused by the sound. Besieged in the sallows, the boar faces the fray, the squealing and howling a meaningless row. Its night but a blink from the dawning of day. It has barely seen life, but is writhing and dying, and the greenwood is rife with the hallowing strife, all that hooting and crying. That hue and cry is harsh to the ear, as dogs in the greenwood bring him to ground. Barons bring bloodhounds, baying and fierce, and blow on their bugles a barrage of sound. And truly I tell, 3 kings trotting near are chatting of trifles, all armoured and crowned. Each rules his lands through riches and fear. They own every wood and the regions all round. On the woods and the waste they are working their worst. But hear now how fate ignores men of state, and crass rulers are cursed. The 3 of them falter as they forge forth. With wailings of winds the weather turns wan, and a rime-grey mist arises from earth. All of their men have turned tail and gone. Our daring adventures may yet end in dearth, and though we seek honour, I fear we breed wrong. We are 3 wealthy kings with kindred of worth, yet caught up in care, will reap wrath ere long. For our fates have been cast, and we must count the cost, and hope that this mist by morning has passed, or our 3 lives are lost. They creep a foot forward, then flee back a few, onto a field where the fog seems to glow, and out of the grove 3 men come in view, shadowy phantoms fated to show, with legs long and lean, and limbs all askew, their livers and lights all fetid. With slow, ungainly gaits they approach, and slew each horse into frenzy. They bridle, they blow, they pant, stride and bite, as the ghosts groan, "Pay heed!" And no succour in sight. Each king carps at Christ with crossings and creeds. The first king is cringing, his heart overcast, for he recognizes the cross on a rotting king's shroud. His foal flinches and falters, reined in and cursed. His fair falcon falls to his fist. He howls, "Now gladness is gone, I am groaning, aghast at these 3 grim ghosts." He blurts it out loud. "For I've wandered by woods and walked in the waste, and never before was so craven and cowed. My mettle is daunted, and I quiver with dread. I know without doubt, if we run, we're all dead. In spite of our titles, we're all of us doomed." The second king stutters, that sovereign of might, whose vigour and valour were often vaunted. "Methinks, my lords, I see the strangest sight that men under the sun have ever been granted. 3 liches, all loathly seeking lost light, with lips all shredded and livers rotted. If we flee, all the city will pity our plight. Peril besieges us, fate has plotted against us, and now I am telling you true, though we hunt boars, shout ho, to these ghouls we must bow, or run off and rue." Then up speaks the hindmost king, staring off at the hills, holding his head in his quivering fists. It's as if a well-stropped knife has stilled his heart like a slaughtered cow's. He frets.
These three are demons. Each one could kill us here in the woods. Help us, God, who somehow fits us into the world. I quiver like a flag, spill my silver, my fingers clench. I lose my wits and fear terribly for our fate. I think that we should flee and fast. The only counsel's not to wait. Fortune's got us on a plate. The devils have us. The die is cast.
Fiends? Demons? Nay, you're mistaken. We're your fathers, salt of the earth, soon forgotten as you flourish like leaves on the linden, holding lordship of towns from Lorne to London. Those who doubt your decree or don't do your bidding, you beat and bind or defraud for a flogging. Look, the worms use my bowel for a womb, all writhing, each ribboned like the rope my shroud is a binding. With this rope I am bound, though the world once esteemed me. My carrion was found kissable once, but you, unsound masters, say no mass, leave us unredeemed. Then the middle corpse begins to channer.
Look at my bones, all black and bare. When we lived in the world we were held in honour. We had wives at our will and wealth to spare. Don't think of marvels, but learn and wonder. Though now you are fair, thus shall you fare. Believe Christ, learn love, ponder your own clay, and give your flesh no care. Don't believe it, it lies, its falsehoods are snide, so forget pomp and pride. When the finest man dies, his worst works are decried.
The loathliest one speaks last. His loins so lean, his legs are lank as leeks swathed in linen. I am your mirror. My merry-making's a mean bit of murk now. I've done more earthly sinning than any moral excellences, mistreated the men of my lands, vilified villagers, scorned those serving my meals, thought myself regal who was always moaning. There's not a knave now will do my bidding who's not an idiot or fool, who pays no heed to the tomb. No one succumbs to my rule. Time, remorseless and cruel, leads me on to the doom. The ghosts, having spoken, all gather and glide off to their graves, and the kings in the glade are a little more glad, and agree they should ride through the red rays of day, and never again grind the grist of their servants, or let pride deprive them of merciful minds ripe for redemption, but abide in God's mercy. The chantry they found is made holy at Mass, and in church or on moss where men meet, I bid you emboss this image. Who'll believe it? Alas, you don't? That's your loss.